Hey guys, we're Scot and Amy Thompson of Thompson Essentials. Welcome to today's episode. Today we're going to talk a little bit to you guys about something that we haven't touched base about. Today we have really wanted to dive in deep and let you guys just kind of hear like what Scot and I's passion and heart about the channel is. So I will just let you just hear from Dr. Scot for a minute and he can go ahead and get us started. But we want to share with y'all what our purpose and our why is.
Absolutely. Thank you, Amy. And you guys, we just felt like recently that we kind of, maybe we should answer this, like do an episode that's why Thompson Essentials? I mean, why even? What is the point? What is the purpose? Do we just kind of bored like, hey, let's make a YouTube channel? Or is it a lot more deep-seated than that, right?
Yeah.
It is very much more deep-seated than that. And honestly, it's been, I don't know, it's been on the mind for 13 years. So, and now it's finally coming to full circle in that, in our purpose, if we had to just put it in a statement, we'd say is to revive the health of the world. And you're going to hear us say that often. First off, because we quite frankly believe and know that it is necessary and needed. And not just this country or our country, the entire globe could use a revival in health. And
yes.
To break that down even further, what does that word even mean? I mean, if you did a little bit of a word search or looked up in a dictionary, what does the word revive mean? What do you mean by that, Scot? Did you just kind of throw some words together, or does that every individual piece of that statement, although it's kind of simple, does it have purpose? And absolutely it does, right? So if you were to look that word up, revive means, you'll see words like activate. You'll see words like renew. You'll see words like restore to life. One of my favorite descriptions of it, right? So you could effectively say, to revive the health of the world, replace revive with to restore the life of the world, right? So many folks and personal situations, which we'll touch on a little bit today, with certain friends and family members, led us to this point. So yeah, it's got a lot of deep history over a course of several years, and people unexpectedly coming down with health conditions and us losing them sooner than we should have, right? Of course, heaven's gain is our loss here.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
Nevertheless, and that's another thing we want to touch on, is that when you say your purpose is to revive the health of the world, well, the word health is kind of simple, but it's kind of complicated too if you sit and think about it, because what all branches come off of that? I mean, the word health could mean a lot of things. It could mean physical health. It could mean exercising, going on a run. It could mean mindfulness, spending time in God's word, and meditation. It can mean a lot of things there. It can mean toxins. It can mean chemicals. It can mean a lot of things, which we're going to touch on a little bit in a little bit. Amy's going to talk about that, but that's just what we want you guys to understand, is that this channel is going to come to you from a direction of heartfelt and restoration and revive of your health. Because, quite frankly, in this world, or I like to say sometimes in this realm, not to get too deep there, but you really can't do anything if you don't have your health. A lot of people will tell you that doing this or that with my health is too expensive. It's not expensive at all. I can tell you what is extremely expensive, oftentimes bankruptcy expensive, and that is once you don't maintain your health and spend some funds there or time there, is trying to get well. Trying to restore your health once you're at rock bottom, trying to regain wellness, that is very expensive. And right. I can tell you tons and tons of patients I've seen in over 25 years, almost 26 years of seeing people that they cut corners, they did certain things throughout their life. I won't name any names, but the thing in my mind is very useful and I love it. But that system of saving over the course of your life, you can be encouraged to cut corners with your nutrition, with different facets of your health. And therefore you are at rock bottom and you wind up with a terrible condition around retirement time. And you spend your life fortune that you saved for just trying to regain your health and wellness. And now you're bankrupt. And you're still sick because what you were doing didn't really work anyway. So it's so much easier, guys, to stay healthy, to maintain health, so much more economical than to try to regain your health and try to get well of XYZ condition or process in your body.
Right, just like maintaining your vehicle. You're going to maintenance your vehicle because you don't want to break down on the side of the road. I mean, that's just,
absolutely.
I know that resonates with a lot of people, but when we talk about maintenance your health, what we're not saying is from a hateful standpoint, we're saying it from a loving standpoint. Because if I'm laid up in the hospital for 200 days this year, I cannot fulfill my purpose that God has given me on this earth. So like all these things that we're going to start talking to you guys about, those are things that really are serious. They sound so simple, But if we don't maintenance these things, be a good steward of our health, then the bottom line is we are going to go down the path that we do not want to have to go down. And yes, and Dr. Scott and I were just both talking earlier, and we really want people to see our heart in this. Like, we have literally lost very, very dear friends. And as of recently, we lost a very, very, very one of our best friends. And we have lost his sister. I have my dad that died in an early age, like because of just lifestyle choices of him and just the walk and everything with his lifestyles. And nutrition was definitely not on the top of his list. And I know he wasn't out exercising and there's other multiple things, but I wish, looking back, that would speak some more life into him as far as with his health. And I'm not going to go down that path with anybody in my, reach or sphere of influence. I want everyone to live a full life, healthy, vibrant, doing the things that God called you to be, because your life is so valuable and purposeful. So we each have a call in our life. If you don't know what that is, I urge you to get in prayer time with your Father and seek the face of God and ask him, like, what could you be doing? And sometimes that might not even be something like going out and sharing health with people or preaching the gospel from a pulpit. But we all have that inside of us, something that God is using us for. For myself, I know I'll just be very upfront. There was a season where I was a stay-at-home mom, and I used to battle in my own self with, I want to be out serving people, doing things for other people, reaching. And every time I would get to a place in my own head, basically, where I would feel like, I'm just being for real. Maybe I felt like, okay, my life is not as purposeful as so-and-so. She's out there making a huge difference. She's changing lives. She's saving lives. She's doing all these things that are great for the kingdom. And I would literally hear this voice inside of me that would remind me, sometimes what you're doing, it isn't what you're doing now, but it's who you're raising. And that for me was just confirmation. Scott will tell you, every time I would battle with that, I'd be praying and I asked him to pray for me, because I would feel like, oh, I need to go do more. Because, we always feel like we're not doing enough. I don't care who you are. You're always going to have that voice inside of you, you're not enough. You're not doing enough. You're not being enough, whatever. But for me, I was just always struggling with that in my younger years while I was at home doing the most. Now that obviously my kids are in college, I can see that now. But back then, I really struggled and had to pray through it. So whatever you're doing, I don't know who that was for, but there's some mom out there that needs to hear that. What you're doing and what you're raising is going to shape and change the next generation. So yes, keep it up.
So guys, and I want to say something to you that's encouraging, but disclaimer-wise, prior to saying it, depending on how you receive it, it could land kind of like, golly, Scott. But that's not my point, right, guys? I have a bad habit of, and you might too, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do this in the morning. I'm going to go on a run. I'm going to go to our little gym in our little barn here and do that. And then I wind up sleeping too late to do it. And I sell my own self out, right? But I tell you this, and it may be this way, it may not. But if I make a deal if I tell the Lord that I'm going to do X, Y, Z, I'm either going to do it or I'm dead. I mean, I might lie to Scott, but I'm not lying to him, right? So my point there is, in this segue where I'm headed now, is, like I said earlier, the most, apart from Jesus himself, the most valuable thing you have in this earth is your health, because without it, you can't serve your children, you can't take care of your spouse, you can't serve a patient, you can't go to work, you can't be a plumber and go here and fix this, you can't be a teacher, whatever it is that you do, you can't do it if you don't have your health, right? So take pride in stewarding your health, and don't look at it like it's expensive or I don't have time or these things. How many folks have you known they've had this terrible health condition and it ruined them? It obviously ruined their health, but it ruined them financially. They can't serve their family. They can't do all the things that's most important to them, right? Just take it from that perspective of stewardship, and you might notice, why does he have a Bible in his lap? Because there's a couple of scriptures I want to mention to you guys, which leads me to 1 Corinthians 6, 19 and 20. And this really helps me push through when I don't want to do something that I know I need to do, right? So things like this. So, don't you know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit who is in you, whom you have from God? You are not your own, for you were bought at a price, a very heavy price, I might say. And that's referring to Jesus' price he paid, right? So glorify your body. Well, glorify. What does glory mean, right? If you're going to bring glory to something, it means you're going to honor it, right? You're going to magnify it. And you can do your own word search there. But in other words, guys, just take pride in the stewardship of your body so you can be useful in this realm for God himself, right? Mm-hmm. And that takes me to also another good one, which we could do this all day, but I wanted to mention these two to you guys. And now that was 1 Corinthians 6, 19 and 20. This is 1 Corinthians 10 and 31. And it tells us that, so whether you eat or drink or whatever you do everything for the glory of God, right? So that's pretty powerful. That runs into a lot of our word, revive your health, right? To restore to life your health, right? So that's very, very important. And guys, don't, again, use, this right here, like to not steward your body well, move it from your own personal self, taking care of move it to here. In that's just being an insult to your creator, if you think about it.
Right.
And if you go from that perspective, it helps me, hopefully it'll help you be more purposeful and more committed to doing that. Now, like this morning, we slept late. Neither one of us got up and did anything. I'm just telling you the truth. What we are saying is that realize that to restore yourself back to life, to revive your health, you have to be committed, right? And you have to honor the Lord with it, and look at it that way. Everything you do as honor to the Lord, mm-hmm. and be a good steward of the temple that he's given you, right? And don't feel like you're insulting the creator. Make good of what he's given you, right? Take care of it so that you can fulfill your purpose and your calling that he's got on your life within this earth. And that probably is essence. Of course, our purposeful statement is to revive the health of the world, but to fulfill God's purpose and calling on your life in this realm.
Well, and for me, I know that our kids do what we do, not what we say.
Well, we all do.
Right. We all do that. So we watch people, usually the people that are that influence us, being our families, our mentors, different ones. But sometimes, most always, where we learn things is by watching them, not by me preaching to them. The more you preach to them, the more they're going to go this way.
Yeah. So how's our children going to ever grow up to be a good father if they've never seen one? How are they going to understand and one day how to treat their own wife if I can't treat their mother well?
Right.
And vice versa. Mm-hmm. We have all boys. So, but in any event, how does our sons ever know what a good biblical Proverbs 31 woman looks like if they don't see one? Right.
Ooh, that's bad.
No, it's good. I married way over my head, guys.
Oh my gosh, whatever. Okay, enough. Moving along.
So, Amy, did you want to share something about maybe some of the future episodes and what kind of spokes off a wheel, so to speak, they might look like? What could people expect?
Sure, I'll go ahead. So, for me, I don't know, probably I'm bad with time, but 8 or 10 years ago, when my boys were younger, the Lord just really gave me a vision of what health really should look like. I say growing up, but I've been around chiropractic since I was a 21-year-old girl. So I've been going to seminars and all the, different seminars and wellness health fairs and all the different things for years and years. So I've been around the arena of health and just seen so many things. And some of it was great, and some of it I felt like maybe that was a little, out there. Just being for real in the holistic world, I want to bring forth the things that I feel in the spirit that resonate with me and what I feel is true. Meaning truth, meaning science is backing it, meaning there's factual information. This just isn't a good idea. This is literally been researched and proven by some of the experts in the health world. So I want it to not be, things that are, out there hocus pocus. For me, I saw this wheel and all the different aspects as far as nutrition and supplements and spiritual walk, mental health, functional medicine, chiropractic, and detoxification, and de-stressing ourselves, exercise, all those things and supplements. I definitely don't want to miss the supplements, but all those things just kind of come together and create a whole healthy being. So we want to talk about some of those things today. So first, we're going to talk about nutrition. So nutrition is going to be super amazing. One of the most powerful things you can do as a family, teach your kids what you need to be doing your entire life. We all know we're supposed to eat healthy. Even if we don't eat healthy, if we don't care about our health at all, we know hey, we're supposed to eat healthy. But what does nutrition need to look like? Y'all, it's not complicated. It is really not. Eat clean food. God-made food minus the toxins. It's that simple. I can sit here and give you all these million scientific words and all this that sounds so amazing. Eat God-made foods. Did God make that? Probably not. Throw it away or don't eat it. Don't bring it in your house. Now, what I'm saying, when I'm saying that, I don't mean like, don't take your kid to the birthday party and eat the cupcakes. Hey, enjoy life. Everything in moderation, because you do not want to stress yourself either. So you want to live a free life full of fun as well as, a disciplined life. So you balance things out in a good way. So that being said, like, I don't need to go any deeper with that except nutrition, God-made foods. Of course, organic if you can get those, and we will link in the supplement and food list into this video afterwards. But the food list, as far as the clean and the dirty, we will do that at the end of the video. But whenever we're eating the food, look at the food and ask yourself, does this glorify God? If I'm eating this, I don't know, sugared up bowl of Fruit Loops, does this glorify God?
Probably not.
Well, your spirit's going to resonate with that. Like, you're going to be like, hey, that made me feel good, or that was not good for my body.
But I mean, if you're used to eating any and everything you want at all given times, just with no, restrictions, you won't really realize the difference in how your body can even feel, much less perform or how healthy you would be by just eating whatever at any given time. And don't try to do too much at once. And stay in tune with the channel. Subscribe, like, share it. All the things that we're talking about will be topics and episodes coming forward. We're just trying to give you guys an idea of like what all can we expect from here, and these are the things you can expect. My favorite, talking about nutrition, is probably ketogenic diet with intermittent fasting, right? So when you put those two things together, man, life, it absolutely is so beneficial for your body. It kills sickness and disease. It literally does. It creates
a healing within.
Right. So, and there's a certain cause of death in our country and really in the world that we won't use that word, but a C word, that ketogenic diet with intermittent fasting and some other nuances literally starves the cells of those conditions. And that's a good thing. That's really how the easiest way to save your house when it's burning down is if it never caught fire. So the easiest way to, like we said earlier, it's so much easier to stay well than it is to try to restore your health and try to get well after you're already behind, right? So it's just like anything else in life. It's hard to catch up when you get behind. I mean, you can, often sometimes, but it's just difficult. Well,
healthy cells cannot live in a toxic environment. They just cannot. So, yep. But next we want to talk about supplements. Yes. Now, I would say supplements is probably the next best thing to nutrition. Nutrition is number one. You need to be eating right. Supplements are just that. They are to supplement the fact that you can't grow your food or get the healthy food that you need to be eating. Of course, specific supplements through functional medicine testing. Reach out to us if you want more information about the functional medicine side, but nutritional testing with your micronutrients is key, because you could be taking all the wrong supplements and not the right amount of things. So that's super important. We'll dive deeper into that later, as well as with the functional medicine labs that we are on board to be launching in the next days ahead. So reach out to us if you're interested in your functional medicine labs. We are here to support, because your food sensitivities and your nutrient testing, micronutrients, that is so important. Because if you don't know what you should be eating, you could be eating the wrong things. I know, like 3 years ago when I started doing functional medicine labs, like I was just totally blown away by the foods that were healthy that I had been consuming, and I didn't need to be eating those foods. Those were actually causing inflammatory markers in my labs, in my blood. So I was like, okay, no more almonds for me, no more spinach for me, no more gluten, no more grain, and the list goes on. But a lot of the things really blew me away, especially almonds, because I love me some almond butter and some almond milk, and I thought I'm doing all the right things, but my lab showed me different. We don't guess about supplements, we test. Next, we'll talk about exercise. Exercise is so, so important. I know many people give themselves like a bad, what would you call it? They
beat themselves up if they don't do X, Y, Z. They didn't do this, didn't do enough, kind of thing.
Yeah, something is better than nothing.
Absolutely. And don't discount, guys. Walking and worshiping the Lord is so underrated. Or people just don't even think about it. I'm like, just to walk and spend time in quiet, not having blue light, not having a phone in front of your face or a computer, or constantly, which that's another subject, but I'll stay away from that one for the moment because I'll go off on a rabbit trail. Oh, well, I'll try to mention it casually. Not listening to people complain and not complaining ourselves, because, I mean, it's, how many people you ever met that were bitter, sour, always complaining, and they were super happy and productive all at the same time? You really can't be both, right? So the point, what's that got to do with exercise? Well, everything. We're going to talk about it in other episodes, but also it has to do, like we said, walking and worshiping. When Amy started doing that early in the morning, because Amy does not like early morning, I'm going to tell you right now. But on days that she can get, it's completely her entire day is completely different. If she gets up and has to watch the sun come up while she's walking and talking to the Lord by herself, not talking to me and maybe talking to a dog, but that's about it. Other than that, it's just her and the Lord, and that prepares you for whatever else might come the rest of your day. Now, obviously, you can do more than walk. You can go on runs. You can lift weights. There's a lot of things you can do, and that's fine. I'm not discounting that at all. But just don't beat yourself up if you're not doing this major level of exercise. Don't discount the fact that moving your body is good. The folks in 25 plus years we've seen that have the most health problems, they're just not doing anything. They're sadly stuck in a job where they either drive a lot or sit behind a computer a lot. They're just kind of stuck and sedentary and facing a screen, concentrating for hours on end, and then they just don't feel like doing much of nothing.
And then they're stressed and depressed.
Yes,
so find something. If it's even swimming or biking, those are excellent ways to get out and exercise. So weight training, of course, is amazing, and that's diving even deeper.
We'll talk about the importance of that in upcoming episodes.
So super important.
Moving weight is so good for your body and joints, bone health. We can name other conditions that it assists in, right? So it prevents things like osteoporosis, osteopenia. We can go on. It helps you in many, many ways, which we'll talk deeper in later. But our next subject, we'll probably talk about.
Yes, our next subject is chiropractic care, maintaining your spine. We don't just do chiropractic care just for pain. Like, that is not what chiropractic is. I'll let Dr. Scott talk about that.
Well, I mean, I could stay here for a long, long time. I'll try not to, but I'll tell you this. This is something that recently came to me, and I think it came from a spiritual perspective. The easiest way to explain what chiropractic does for you is that, people typically think, if you ask somebody just on the street, say, hey, why would you go to the chiropractor if you went at all? My back hurts. My neck hurts. Maybe I've got a headache. Most folks would be somewhere in that particular area. But guys, when you have a diagnosis and or a symptom, I've got high blood pressure. I was told I have acid reflux. I was told my baby has an ear infection. I was told I have that C word. I was told that I have ulcerative colitis. I was told that I have a cyst on my ovary. I was told that I'm type 2 diabetic and I have an insulin issue. I was told I have a thyroid problem. I was told my thyroid's enlarged. My labs are not good. I was told that I have TMJ. I was told that I have migraines. My mom has them and now I have them, and that's just my lot in life, right? Like, whatever your problem is not your problem. And I'm going to pause on purpose. Like, what did he just say? What are you talking about? If I've been told I have a digestive issue, of course that's my problem. It's not. Your problem you're told you have is a symptom of your problem. Most often, if not partially all the time, with other factors, you have a neurologic problem causing a symptom of which I just mentioned and then some, right? Even that C word, Scott. Yes, even that C word. And here's how it looks. Your brain has God's wisdom in it, and it tells your body how to function, but it doesn't do it through Snapchat. It doesn't do it through TikTok and an email or a text message. It does it through your nervous system, particularly your spinal cord and the nerves that come off and go out. So if I have numbness in my arm and thyroid problems, guess what? They can be coming from the same place. I can have a subluxation, which is a bone and another bone, and a misalignment, putting pressure on the nerve that goes to that area. Oh, so Scott, you guys are curing thyroid problems and numbness in arms. No, we're removing nerve interference, a subluxation, which is the reason you have the symptom in the first place, because of that problem. And once that is restored or revived, then guess what? Your body has the opportunity to do what it would have done anyway, which is to heal itself. Because now your brain can talk through your spinal cord out that group of nerves to the destination of where those nerves go, and it has the chance to heal itself. Right. And then God gave us all these extra tools that we can utilize to help facilitate that healing. So, like, for myself, I had thyroid condition,
And I was doing all the things. I've ate healthy for years, what I thought was healthy. I exercised. I did chiropractic care for 20 plus years. And 3 years ago was diagnosed with a condition with my thyroid. And that thyroid condition led me to lab testing. Lab testing then dictates, hey, these are the problems that are out of alignment with your nutrition and with your micronutrients. We got to get this stuff lined up. So I started lining those things up with help from my functional medicine doctor. And we actually got those things under control after a series of time. And I removed all the foods that I didn't need to be eating and kind of, transformed some nutritional changes and did the much needed specific supplements and completely retested, got better, retested, got better, retested. My doctor tells me, he goes, can I put your results on my wall? He goes, like, these are like, you did everything you were asked to do. Like all the tools that you've had, all the supplements that you've taken, all the things, you literally did all that stuff. And I'm like, I did that stuff, yes. He goes, well, your labs are completely normal. This diagnosis that you could be receiving is you're healed. Like it's better. Like you're good. So we went down that, and that doesn't mean like I quit doing all those things. Yep. No.
And guys,
maintenance.
It doesn't make you. This be hard for some of you probably to believe, but her thyroid labs were so bad that she'd been in a conventional setting. She would have been told that she needed chemo, she needed radiation, that she had the thyroid C word. And over the course of, like she's saying, certain specific supplementation based on that lab work, 6-8 weeks later, retest. 6-8 weeks later, retest. Until 10 months, all of her thyroid labs are normal. You're like, what? That's just not really possible. Of course it is. God made you to heal by design, right? He designed you to be a self-healing machine, right? And we are, but we've got to have the things necessary to heal, like we were mentioning in this particular episode. Next subject, probably. Right.
So next subject, let's talk about de-stressing. So find things that you can do to de-stress your body. Because if your body is in a stressful state, you're going to find yourself experiencing all kinds of health flare-ups. We won't even go into detail of all those, but it can be anything. So find those things that de-stress you. Like singing, running, massage, sunlight is really de-stressing for me to go sit out in sunlight. I just love it.
Amy loves being hot.
Yeah.
And I didn't even think about until you said sing. When the boys were little, and they're 3 really close together.
Josh.
Not even hardly 2 years apart, especially the older two, they're really not. But when it used to get really loud, driving down the road, I would have earplugs, shooting earphones, something. Because, you can say be quiet, but if you've ever been around little children, sometimes, they're just loud. Right, so they're fussy and whatnot.
You should have been singing with us. We were having fun.
Amy's solution
sing loud.
But just turn the worship music up and just
turn
sing.
it up. We would just have a good time.
Right, so I'm going to be louder than you are.
Yeah. Oh, I miss those rides in the cars with my kids.
But that de-stressed Amy. Yeah. It de-stressed the whole car. Actually,
it changed the atmosphere.
Yes.
So yeah. So anyway, and then of course another way to de-stress is always find connection. Don't feel like you're alone. Don't go hide in your closet, go to bed early, sleep for 15 hours because you're sad. Like, connect with people. If you don't have a friend, go be a friend.
Yes.
So go connect with people that bring you joy, people that are good vibes for you, like good, healthy relationships. If you don't have those people in your life, get plugged into your church, which you need to do that anyway. I'm just saying, but get plugged into a group of positive, like-minded friends, and the church is a great place. I love just going to my church and connecting and being around people that have the same mindset as I do. That's my place, my happy place. I love to be at my church. Mental health. Let's talk about that. So mental health. A lot of people really struggle with mental health. And forgiveness. Pastor was really touching on this Sunday, and it was a really good service. Forgiveness is so important. That's one of the number one things for your mental health is to have a forgiving heart. We've all had things or people that have basically hurt us, wounded us, or whatever. But those things should not completely destroy us because of their choices. So remember, just because someone did a bad deed or a bad act or spoke to you badly or did something that caused you any kind of, stress on your life, then you need to just release those things to the Lord. Yep. So, and it sounds so easy. But I promise you, if you get in your word and you pray and you ask the Lord to help you release those things, He will do it. I know Sunday service at our church Sunday, our pastor
it was something special. But also, I never heard it explained quite this way. And some of you guys watching, you may have heard this before, but Pastor Sunday put it in a little bit different perspective. And he's like, yeah, you're forgiving someone, but technically you're not giving them anything. You're giving yourself. What he means by that is that, yeah, you were wronged, and you think to ourselves, like, I'm not even the person who's at fault. Why am I forgiving anybody of whatever? Because it's not for them. It's for yourself. It's not hurting anybody but you to harbor, to hold on to whatever that it is. It's holding you back. It's causing you strife. It's causing you grief. It's causing you mental illness. It's causing you problems, right? In your life, it's affecting your literal physical health. So to forgive someone is something you're doing for yourself, really, right? So, yeah, that's pretty solid.
Mental health and worship, like just listening, we were just talking about worship and singing songs or whatever earlier, but like worship, just turning on your music and just singing songs that you love, like songs that bring you joy, whatever those songs are, whoever those artists are, if they're good, positive, uplifting songs, those things, when you sing them, something releases in you, and it's like really good for your mental health. Try it. I promise you. Singing unto the Lord with worship will shift the atmosphere and your mindset.
And it'll seem kind of weird if you've never done it, but right by yourself somewhere where if you can be as quiet as you want to be, or you can be as loud as you want to be. It doesn't really matter. That brings us back to Amy walking worship in the morning. Like, where we live, nobody's going to hear you but a horse or a dog.
Ain't nobody need to hear me because I cannot sing.
No, I'm the one that can't sing. I mean, I would make the mice and the roaches run.
But make a joyful noise unto the Lord.
Right. I've actually had conversations with the Lord. I sound so bad. Like, I mean, I don't know how this could be joyous to you, but you made my voice this way.
But He says it is good. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, for it is good.
Hey, as joyful as you can make.
Yes.
Right?
So, but seek good counsel. Find you a good counselor that is a Christian-based counselor. As Pastor said Sunday, like, I don't know how he worded it, so I'm not going to misquote it, but you can go back and look on Dothan First this past Sunday's message, but however he worded it was perfect. That is a great message. Maybe we can link that message on here because it was powerful.
Yes, Dothan First Assembly of God. You guys should go there like that. I'll watch it, share it. It's on their website's post. You can watch it. You can watch it on their Facebook. You can watch it on YouTube.
Right.
But it's really, especially this last Sunday, which they're all good, but that one was really, really good.
But cancel doesn't always come from wise counsel. So that being said, like, you need to get your counsel from someone that is wise, meaning someone that is going to speak truth.
Yes.
Hopefully they're going to speak to you from the Word of God, like, hey, this is what lines up with this issue, like, you know, and there's some great Christian counselors out there. We got so many wonderful ones. Literally, if you need counseled and you need a friend, I can plug you in with, I know, a guy one, a girl one, older one, a younger one. Like, there's so many amazing ones, even in our Dothan area.
Yes.
So definitely don't overlook mental health. It is holding people back from God's purpose in their life. So, and moving on to the next one, let's talk about detox.
Yes.
Detoxing is so important. So if your body is toxic, your body can't heal. So, like, there's so many things that we will go into later when we talk about a specific day on detoxification. But the number one thing you could do to begin to detox is to do a fast. So there's different types of fasts. Like, you could do like a Daniel fast. You could do like an intermittent fast. There's several ones. You can actually look that up online. But there are several types of fasting. And fasting is amazing for your health. Using binders, we have some great binders that we have through Thompson Essentials that bind to the toxins and help to remove them from your body. Most people have been exposed to toxins. At some point in your life you have. So if you've never done a good binder detox, I encourage you to do that. You can also test that with functional medicine labs to determine if you have any like mold toxicities, mercury toxicities from the environment. Like, there's so many different, there's a detox
it's everywhere. It's like,
lab.
So your water, your heat and air circulation system. I mean, like Ms. Amy says, mold. There's so many ways that we can get toxic overload. And yeah, using a binder is really good for that, particularly if you do lab work and it says that you're toxic in this area. A binder can help clear that out of you.
Just kind of pulls it out.
Which is basically, which Thompson Essentials, we have a binder. That's a really, really good one. And it's basically like a charcoal type thing where it grabs, and like she mentioned, and gets toxins out of you. Yeah, detox is very, very important. And fasting, obviously, be careful with fasting in regards to whatever health condition you may have.
Right.
As we're making this episode, any and everybody could be watching and listening to it. So
consult your healthcare provider for sure.
Yeah. You want to make sure you're particularly.
But the Bible tells us to fast. So absolutely. What type of fasting is dependent on your health, is what he's saying.
And two, fasting doesn't necessarily mean food, guys, especially from a spiritual perspective.
Right.
You could be fasting from the internet. You could be fasting from
social media.
You could be fasting from a lot of things, and it will help your health. It'll help your mental health. It'll help you in a lot of ways. But yes, man, we'll make some episodes on fasting as well coming up. But as I mentioned way a while ago earlier, just when Amy was talking, brought me back to it. A ketogenic diet with intermittent fasting, that's the way you can fast almost every day. And we'll get into that deeper later, which actually that's exactly what we're teaching on physically in our office today.
Yeah, tonight.
I'm doing a nutrition Thompson Essentials segment, and that particularly is going to be ketogenic diet with intermittent fasting, which is my absolute favorite.
Well, we want our patients, we want the world, but to receive healing. But we're going to start obviously in our practice tonight with a nutrition workshop that we're doing, and it's going to be on intermittent fasting and just like how to do it. So we're going to talk about that. Yep. So if you're watching this later, maybe you can find the video. We hopefully will be getting that video tonight, and then we'll be sharing that as well on the specific nutrition things that you can do on intermittent fasting and how to actually do that. So what it looks like. But detox, one final thing I will say about detoxification is one of my favorite ways to detox is the sauna. The sauna is my fave. So I love to get in the sauna.
Yeah, so I don't know, what's the phrase, pony up, ante up, whatever, and embrace the uncomfortable for the progress of cold. And Amy loves to get in the sauna, and that joker, by the time she gets out, it's up to 140 degrees. And sometimes you never get in the sauna with me. I'm like, no, it will bake my poor brain, and I have no cells to throw away, right? I need them all. But she loves it super hot. But now cold, she's not so crazy about that.
It's okay. I'll go in there and it is so relaxing. I'll turn on my music and just sit there and soak it up because it is so nice to just sit there and just like release all the toxins. So I love my sunlight and sauna.
Yep. And you had Arabella, who's one of our older dogs. She's got some older, this big pure breed. She's a Doberman.
She got a little arthritis in her back.
She gets up a little slower than she used to with her hips.
Good.
But of course, she's had several puppies. But Amy had her in the sauna with her the other day, the red light therapy of it.
Only 5 minutes. She didn't dehydrate, and I gave her plenty of water afterwards.
Right. Yeah,
my son said, "Are you trying to kill the dog?"
No,
no. This is good for her.
But it's not 140 degrees.
Yeah, not 140.
It works up to that.
She wasn't in there when it was 140.
Right. Yeah, she didn't stay long. She was able to get out when she wanted to, and that wasn't very long.
Yeah, right. So, and last but definitely not least, one of the most important things to our health is our spiritual health. So that being said, what are ways that we can, improve our spiritual health? We all need to work on that. That's just something that we all need to do. Continual. You never arrive at a place where you're just like a spiritual giant. You literally need to sow into your spiritual health every day so that you're constantly growing. So what are some ways that you can do that? Get plugged in a church. If you don't have a good church, find a good biblical-based, Jesus-loving church. Reach out to us. We'd love you to come worship at Dothan First with us, or help you find a church in your area. There's lots of places you can go for church.
Yeah, if you
can even watch online.
Yeah, absolutely. Anymore. You can watch any church from anywhere. It doesn't really matter.
But that definitely doesn't replace
the
community. Yes. Because the community is where it's at. Just being plugged into the Bible studies at your church. That is an amazing way to do it. And then alone time with God, just meditating on God's word. Those sound so simple, but they're so powerful. So as you meditate on God's word, you can pray and ask the Lord to just really show you the areas of your weakness as far as health things. So what could you do to be a better steward of your health? Because that's important. These things are important to the Lord. I mean, if he writes in the scriptures, your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, to honor it, then I want to take that to heart, because that is something that I really feel that I need to focus on so that I can fulfill his purpose and not leave too soon. So, or I know that's debatable whether or not already my days are numbered. That's a whole, we're not going to talk about that because this is not a religious debate. But what I will say is the time while I'm on this earth, I want to fulfill his purpose. So if I'm in the hospital bed or sick on my couch laid up, or moody and grumpy and just don't feel good and all the things, just stressed and all the things, then I cannot fulfill the purpose that he has for me. So I want to walk it out. So walk out that true 100% health that he has for me, because he wants me healthy and whole.
Absolutely.
That being said, I'll mention them again. The topics were nutrition, make sure you're eating right. Supplements, make sure you're taking your supplements specifically that you need. Exercising to some degree, find some exercise. Do your chiropractic care, de-stressing yourself. Mental health, focusing on that and working on that to improve. Spiritual health, toxicities. So when we do all those things, the body can adapt and become the healthiest version of you.
Yes, ma'am. Very good. Very good. So those are some things you can get, and some different ones too. It'll be more expensive because, like we said originally, our purpose is to revive the health of the world. And like we said, revive is to restore to life. And health is, gosh, that's a broad subject matter.
One more thing that I've completely left out of this whole thing that is so on my heart. Because I know so many people are out there doing this or that. Maybe you're exercising and you're eating healthy enough to look a certain way, but you're not doing all the other things. So you're toxic. You're not, where you need to be with all the other areas. Or maybe you're out there and you're like, hey, I am in God's word. I'm doing all the spiritual things, but I'm into gluttony and eating terrible and not exercising or not doing all the things that are healthy for me. Guys, don't be hard on yourself.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up.
Don't beat yourself up. But that's why we're here. That's why we're here. We want to encourage you to plug into all the different areas of a health journey. This is a journey. So we want to go on this journey with you, and we want you to be 100% healthy and whole so that you can lead your family, your friends, your community to great health and, ultimately reach that one soul, because that's what we're after, is to help lead one soul to the kingdom. That's what we're here for, is to reach other people and share Jesus with them. We can't do that if we're not healthy, can we?
It makes it extremely difficult.
Right. So get out there, make the changes, do the things. If you have any questions, feel free to DM us. We'll be glad to help get you on that journey with us. And we look forward to communicating through this channel with you guys as we all grow in our better health so that we can revive the health of this world together.
Absolutely. So, next episode.
See you then. Look forward to it. Bye, guys. Thanks for joining us.